Smacking, cracking, and watching. Follow me on Twitter. Subscribe. Mindhunter Season 1, Episode 10. This is the finale. This is the finale. This is the finale. This is the finale, y'all. All right. First of all, excellent series. Excellent series. Like I'm going to say it like how I said it before. Definitely feel they're going to get to a Season 2. The cast did a stellar job. Outstanding. Phenomenal work, man. You can't be mad at their performance. Everyone from Debbie to Nancy to the dang on principal's wife showing up again, to seeing the principal walking out of the grocery store in the area, to the story within a story within a story. They changed the game with their findings, with their studies, their vision. It has to be a united front in order for this unit to work. They know that boy was the reason for this whole snitcherization. Greg ain't right. Greg ain't. Oh, I could just hit him in his face for what he did to them. Okay, look, Dr. Carr, get it together. You need a roommate. You need to hook back up with your girl. You need a laundry room upstairs, because what you're doing downstairs is going to get you hurt Season 2. I'm going to throw that out there. Nancy, please don't leave the boy. Please don't leave. I hope that their relationship lasts. I hope they get some help for that little boy as far as therapy. Holden and Bill, are they beefing a little bit? They'll be fine. Will Shepard be reprimanded for leading that? No, he's fine. Too deep in the game. They're fine. Ed, you big foot, big toed. Okay, this is my thing. Why on earth did you show up there for him? Like, I would have tried to handle everything over the phone if I was him, but for him to show up at that hospital and you knew there was no guard. There was no guard. There were nurses. It was people in all white. It was a guy, a girl, people along the hallway. Even walking down the hallway, it was just a random wheelchair with a lady in the IV, just kind of like, they aren't watching her. They're not tending to her. Wasn't that a clue number 1? Get up out of there. You went in that clue number 2 when you saw his big feet sitting there. Did you see his hands? His arms weren't, even if they did cuff him to the bed, that fool would have got up. Cry for help. Cry for help. Look, the moment Ed grabbed them thick Coke bottles, I would have been like, I'm going, homie. You all right. But he ripped that gauze that up, and you saw that centipede horrible scar on his forearm. A cry for help, nothing. That dude's crazy, and he grabbed him like a hug. I said, oh, he's about to eat your feet. This is a dang on shame. It was disgusting. And at that point, when he had his meltdown in the hallway, dang, wow. He needed that. You know what? Season 1, they both had meltdowns, Holden and Bill, because Bill had his with his wife. This fool had his because he went too personal. Did we not talk about that? Telling violent offenders about your girlfriend, telling your girlfriend about these violent situations that occur, tight details, and now you went here and you listened to Ed and he hugs you, he grabbed you. Oh no. ADT guy, is he the BTK killer? It's a possibility. If that's the case, he would have been changing. They threw out the Mindhunter threw out there how the media and the newspaper were putting stories out talking about their findings and their teachings and, their methods. So obviously this guy watches and reads, and our ADT guy, so he could have easily been changing his tactics along the way to keep people off his tracks. But what we saw in the finale was him burning these pictures of crazy dominating bondage situations in a bin at his house. I guess maybe it's I don't know what at a house in the backyard. And are they saying he's patient? Because he's going one by one with the file, with the drawings, like taking one last look, getting rid of that one. Oh, let me look at this one, getting rid of that one, as if it was a picture. If you were really tired of it, you just take a bucket and throw it in there. I'm done. He didn't do that. He could have went on Angela Bassett and wait to exhale with the wagon and burn all his stuff. He didn't do it. He went single. Interesting character, man. I reviewed every episode 1 through 10. every time there's a Netflix series, I say to myself, I will not review every episode again because the stuff is tiring, draining. It takes forever. People who watch the other show reviews, they get mad, and I always lose like 4 or 5 subscribers because the other shows are taking too long to get uploaded. So it's just like, Anyway, them two in this series combine early on findings, teachings, ways of life, a handful of characters that are real. I mean, they created a word. A lot of careers benefited off of their teachings, and still to this day. So those guys, I mean, dang, they're hats off to them, seriously. For them to mix in Ed Kemper, I don't know if this principal was a real person, but I don't know that the principal exists in almost every city. Let's keep it real. It's some weirdos out there that think that justify what they're doing as okay, and it's not. It's just not. I have to rate this series on the information, and just based off of the information and how it was shot, I'll give this series easily a 9.8. It was very well shot. The confession of this whole majorette situation. The Rock, first of all, the evidence was not even the DNA and all of that stuff. It wasn't even tagged right. The Rock was just sitting there. The hat, the gloves, all this stuff was just literally sitting there. Nothing had any back packaging over it. For them to go in there and record this, in order to make it work, you kind of got to fudge it. You got to play a game with it. And you got to have a stomach for it, too, at the end of the day. They got that guy to confess. He had done something foul. It's like you got to get dirty to be dirty. And like you said, you got to, if you want to oink, you want somebody to oink, you got to get in the pigsty. Bill and Holden, their approach, awesome. He has changed so much from episode 1 to the episode 10 when his girlfriend got rid of him again. You should have just not even talked to this chick. Like, you should have left her at the laundromat, but you wanted that old thing back, and should have just stayed in that Chevy Nova boo and kept rolling. But yeah, he matured, and he was so green in that initial guy who took his whole head off with the shotgun. He was so green. He was so by the book. He did not know how to ad-lib and go with the flow of things. He did not know. Stiff. He was stiff. He was by the book, and he had to figure out a way to be by the book, fluid, and stern at the same time by the end of the episode. And then at the same time, he was so good that he figured out his own downfall. You see, he was so used to figuring out other people's downfall. He finally was able to see his own in his own relationship that crumpled right before his eyes. And how his shady girlfriend, who was somebody else's girlfriend, how she played him on the porch and multiple times before that. It was valid. I mean, complain. Well shot show. Keeps you entertained. It's gross, it's sick. I want to watch it with a young one, or even watch it with people who can't really stomach, crazy things because the pictures, the talk, you'd be sitting there looking like the local officers in most of the interviews, assisting like, hey man, I can't deal with this. This is crazy. Why are you talking like that? These aren't your Boy Scout people who are just your kind words. You're not in church in a robe, you're in a prison. So it's grungy, it's nasty, and people have done some foul things. I mean, the man threw a bird like that. Okay. Season 2, I would expect them to show women offenders. I would expect Dr. Carr's story to develop more. The unit to grow. I feel like they would get out of the basement because now it would be way more funding. They would go after, some more high profile cases like Manson. The board who, the professional standards board or whatever, they're not going to be able to touch this unit. And you know what my beef is too with Dr. Carr, because she was very annoying to me. She's a civilian. So she's going to think a certain way versus the agents. Those are two different worlds, honey. That is like oil and vinegar. She knows her stuff, but she is helping. She's not on their level. So she wouldn't even, she can go in there and talk to the standards people all she wants, but her opinion, it's valid, shouldn't be held to the same point of theirs. I love this series. Until the next time, y'all. Thanks for watching. 10 episodes. Peace.